Well, welcome to the northeast of England, to the Gateshead quayside for the 6th edition of the Great North City Games, the traditional curtain raiser to the Great North Run weekend. 6 events on the track, 2 in the field and 2 on the road.
Well, joining me in the commentary box is Tim Hutchings.
There's the first event, the women's 150 metres. Asha Phillip, Jodie Williams, Alison Felix and Bianca Williams. And that is some lineup. And Alison Felix, she's in great form at the moment. Well, Asha Phillips got away absolutely brilliantly right on the far side, and so did Bianca Williams on. Here comes Alison Felix. It's between Phillip and Felix on the near side. Let's have a look at this from Asha Phillips on that far side in lane 1. That's a terrific run, and Jodie Williams second, Alison Felix third, Bianca Williams in third place, 16.70. That's a pretty good time, actually. The British best, incidentally, is by Anyika Onuora, 16.63. That was Manchester in May 2013.
Alison Felix, second to left there, ran in Brussels late last night. She ran the fastest time in the world this year over 200 metres. So we know she's in supreme form. And if ever you needed an example of how fatigue from travel and too much racing can get to you, this is it. Because not only does she never get anywhere near back to Asha Phillip, but Jodie Williams there, who has had a fabulous season, comes past her. That is not the Alison Felix we normally see. But let's take nothing away from Asha Phillip. That's a fabulous run.
There it is, 16.69, 16.84, 16.92, and into a headwind. But let's have a look and see what the winner has to say.
We don't ever get to run out here, so it was wonderful being here. These girls are amazing. We've done relay all year. We've got national records. They're winning medals at Commonwealths and European, so they're just doing amazing.
There's the lineup for this PUMA Great North Men's Mile, or the Bupa Great North Men's Mile, part of this PUMA Great North City Games. The course record 4:02, and indeed no one has ever broken on this course or any other similar one in Newcastle the 4 minutes for the mile. Now the question is, will somebody go out hard from the gun here and try and drag the sting out of the really fast finishers, or will it be a tactical cat and mouse affair, as is usually the case? Certainly Choge on the left there in the orange is in wonderful form. He won a big 5,000 metres in Berlin just last Sunday. Shows he's in very good shape. You need enormous strength and speed, that difficult combination to win at 5,000 metres these days. And I'd like to see a good run too, Stuart, from young Charlie Grice. He's just behind Lagat there, to the right of picture in yellow now, who was so unlucky in the European Championships when he fell in that final.
Yes, indeed. Well, Lagat, of course, won the 2 miles in the anniversary games just a while ago. And, of course, you talked about Choge, the former Commonwealth 5,000 metre champion. He's a natural pacemaker. He likes to run to the front. And you mentioned Garrett Heath, of course, of the United States. He's the defending champion. Won the race last year. And he's got a best of just outside 4:07 on the road for the mile. And, of course, Kiprop, Asbel Kiprop, twice world champion at 1,500, Olympic champion in 2008. Of course, had the problems in 2012, didn't he? That tall figure, had a hamstring injury and really came in at the end of that race. It's such a shame because he was in great form up until that time. But it looks as though Choge's taking it on.
Well, it's not been quick. 62 seconds at the quarter mile, 30 seconds or so ago. They're just loping along at the moment, running in a westerly direction along that north bank of the Tyne. They'll take a left and then cross up one of the many bridges over the Tyne before taking a left back down towards the finish line over in Gateshead, with the last 150 metres actually on the track that's been constructed over there for the City Games. But they do have to negotiate these turns. Nobody really prepared to be the sacrificial lamb or pacemaker in effect through this first half of the race. The norm, of course, in track races and middle distances generally is to have a pacemaker to lead them out. But here, with Choge there leading in that sort of pink-orange top, the pace is very conservative at the moment. The tall figure of Kiprop to the left there, looking to restore some pride. He didn't have a good run at all last night in Brussels. The reigning world champion was only 12th in the Belgian capital just last evening.
Yeah, well, they're pretty well all together, aren't they, on this race thus far? It's still someone, wonder who it would be to get out there and make the pace again. Lancashire, that's Tom Lancashire, the Bolton Harrier from Great Britain, the European and Commonwealth 1500-metre finalist in 2010, taking a little bit of the load up front and pushing alongside Chogi. Lagat's still there. Heath has dropped back just a little bit. We're coming now to the final stages of this race.
Well, they've negotiated that climb, 500 metres to run from those red signs in the background. So about a quarter mile to go, one lap of the track if this were a track race. Kiprop separated from the rest of them there to the right of picture, staying clear of them. Has he got the legs this time? He'll be looking to restore some pride. Choge struggling in the orange now as Tom Lancashire makes the long run from home. They're all still there because it has been a tactical affair. It hasn't been quick. Bernard Lagat second to left there in the yellow. I'm expecting a strong run from him with Johnny Hay just behind him. But Lancashire leading with what, about 200 yards to go. The reigning champion, Garrett Heath, there in yellow, centre of picture, putting up a very stout defence of this title. And Tesfaye on the right there of Germany, the former Ethiopian. He had a good run in the European Championships. He's had a marvellous season. He's got down to 3:31 at 1,500 metres. And he breaks clear as they get onto the track. He's trying to go with him. He's in the slipstream of the German at the moment. But Tesfaye, his eyes focused on the finish line, is surely not going to be beaten here. Kiprop in the background, coming strong through the last 50 metres or so, but he's going to run out of track surely. He's nearly there, but Tesfaye takes it from Kiprop and Garrett Heath. Very, very close at the line. It's a new course record, just under 4:01 there, as you can see from that time. But what a great race there. Tesfaye judging it absolutely perfectly. Only really hit the front as they got onto the track of that last 150 or so. And that's one of the biggest wins of his career over a strong, strong field.
In the final stages, the defending champion Garrett Heath was in second place here, under pressure from Asbel Kiprop of Kenya. Kiprop looked as though he would come through, but Tesfaye judged it absolutely perfectly, and once he got onto the straightway, there was no catching him. Lagat, look, way down at the moment on this one. Kiprop couldn't quite come to Tesfaye, and Tesfaye gets it. Kiprop second, and Garrett Heath, the defending champion, has to settle for third place.
Well, let's bring you up to date with the result of that men's mile. Tesfaye of Germany, just outside 4 minutes, a game's record. Asbel Kiprop in second, and Garrett Heath, the defending champion, third.
Meadows, Sharp, Huragu, Child and Leonard. This is a very much a domestic field and domestic dust-up, but they are 5 world-class athletes.
On the right of the shot is Jenny Meadows, the European indoor champion back in 2011, world bronze medalist 2009, and Christina Huragu, of course, former Olympic champion, twice world champion, and certainly Lindsay Sharp in great form over 800 metres, and of course Edie Child, the European 400-metre hurdles champion. But Jenny Meadows not back to the form we associated with her a couple of seasons ago. She was right at the top of the tree. But Lindsay Sharp has grown in stature, certainly in 800-metre running. But Christina Huragu, we know about her. She's an Olympic champion and twice world champion, so there's real talent. Meadows going quite well.
Jenny Meadows going very well there to left of picture. Yes, ran under 2 minutes for 800 metres in a mixed race just a few days ago. Christina Huragu, I don't think I've ever seen a race in anger on the roads before. This is unique for a sprinter, but it looks like she's got the speed to beat this field, Stuart. She's outclassing them.
Yeah, she is. Huragu is going to be chased by Lindsay Sharp, but Huragu looks so strong. One of her finer points is her finishing ability, and she really does finish strongly. 150 metres all the way down that straightway, and Lindsay Sharp this time can't quite catch her. So Huragu wins it, Sharp in second, Edith Child in third place. 67.48 is a couple of seconds off the fastest time on the track of 65.9. But there's the result. 67.46. Lindsay Sharp pretty quick, 68.05, and Edie Child won 68.11. We'll hear what Christine's got to say now after that unique race over 500 metres.
I must admit it wasn't as bad as I thought. But the girls, Alien, Lindsay did a good job of setting up the first 200 because I wasn't quite sure how to run, so I just tagged onto them.
Well, Fabiana Moura of Brazil, this was her second attempt at 4 metres and 42. It didn't look good on the first attempt, but this one was successful. and it ensured that she maintained a second place in this competition. The world #1 this season, incidentally, on performances thus far, but it was the Olympic champion, Jen Suhr, who came to the fore at 4.52 meters. This was her third attempt at it, and it was a very, very fine vault indeed.
There's the lineup then for the men's 150 metres. Richard Kilty in 1, the world indoor champion. Kim Collins, former world outdoor champion, in 2. Mike Rogers, one of the quickest men in the world this year at 100. And Harry Akinzariti nearest the camera there, completing the lineup. So Kilty in 1, Collins in 2, Rogers in 3, Ariti to the left. Away they go then. Kim Collins in the all black has gone really well. Mike Rogers has gone very, very conservatively nearer the camera in yellow. Harry Akinzariti though pushing hard here. Now here comes Rogers, starts pumping hard, trying to stay relaxed. Kilty having a good run on the far side, very tight, and I tell you what, I think Kilty took it. Minus 0.5, it was indeed into a slight headwind, but Richard Kilty, well, very much against the form books, held his form well, indeed finished strongly there to just outdip them. I'd need to check that, I'd like to see it again. But Kilty, well, finds some consolation at the end of a long, difficult season to down what is a very, very good field.
Yeah, he went through the 100 in 10.4. I thought that Kilty had got it on the far side. Ariti was going well at this stage, and let's just see. Rogers couldn't quite get to them, could he? But I think Kilty got it on the far side. It's difficult to tell from this angle, really. But he certainly went through the 100 in 10.40, and then 15.3. 15.30, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, he just gets it from Rogers and Harry Akinzariti in third place. It's very close. Look at that.
Yeah, it's the best end of the season I could wish for. Coming home in front of my home people and taking the win. It was all about coming out and having fun with the rest of the guys here and entertaining the crowd, and I think we've done a good job of that, but it's great to end my season with a win on home soil.
Well, there's confirmation of the result of that 150. Good run by Richard Kilty, 15.32 from Michael Rogers and Harry Akinzariti.
We now go to the women's road mile. There the USANA does not appear, as you can see. Waitman, O'Beary, they're two names that will feature surely. Laura Muir and Hannah England certainly will. And this 1 mile, Helena Beery, also in this field, the Kenyan, the 2012 World Indoor Champion at 3,000. I remember this season, right at the beginning, she set an African record at 3,000 of 8:20.68 when winning that Doha race, and we thought, my goodness, she's going to promise a lot, but in the end she came 6th in the Commonwealth Games 1,500 metres. I expected more from her. Laura Muir on the left, she's had some difficulties this year. She was 11th in the Commonwealth Games. She was right in contention and then really stumbled after her heel was clipped and really didn't feature at all. And the European Championships really didn't get through the heat. So this would be nice if she could feature here.
Well, she's gone off very hard here as Muir. She does carry an awful lot of frustration into this winter's tour. It's been a great season for her in some respects. She got down to very close to 4 minutes in that Paris Diamond League meeting a couple of months back. But that stumble in the Commonwealth Games, just when the pressure was beginning to mount in the last stage of the race, was very, very difficult to contend with, and it did for her, frankly. And when you think it was in front of a home crowd, it was very, very cruel indeed. So she's trying to unleash some of that here and make it an honest race, and I admire this from Laura Muir. She's determined to go out and finish like she's raced a real mile, not jogged or just strode out for 3/4 of the distance and then started sprinting.
Well, O'Beary's latched on, so is Laura Waitman. She's in third place. Hannah England's a little bit further back in the field. And Finn Nagel on the right, the American, Bree Finn Nagel, former American collegiate champion representing the University of North Carolina, on the right of the shot. And then Diana Suyev of Germany. She was 8th in the European Championships in the 1,500 meters. She's up there as well. So pretty steady, this race, but nevertheless it's some tired legs in there, I have to say. But Muir has set the tenor of the race. O'Beary in second, Waitman in third, Hannah England now moving up into 4th place from that overhead shot. It looks as though it's Hannah England, tall figure, moving into contention.
Well, Hannah England, Stuart, 3 times winner of this race. She really has learnt her trade in terms of road racing over the mile. And it is an acquired skill. And I suspect she's running with more confidence here than she would do if it was a road race, a track race against this same field, because she's had a solid season as Hannah England. Her coach, Bud Baldara, back in Birmingham, has been very, very sick, and that might have affected her. Several of these athletes, of course, have got different reasons for their form. We certainly know that Laura Waitman, under Steve Cram's tutelage as a coach, has had a fabulous season with those Commonwealth and European medals, but Laura looked very, very tired in her last race in Stockholm too, a couple of weeks back.
Well, they're pushing the pace along quite nicely here. Viola, right on the left of your shot, the Italian, the European indoor finalist at 1,500 metres last year, in the dark strip on the left of the shot. But this is the business end of the race now. They'll start to put the pedal down. Muir and O'Beary now making an attack. O'Beary then, and Muir and Waitman. These two, though, leaving the rest of the field, and Hannah England looks to me to be struggling a little. She needs a little bit more. I would have thought she would take closer order than this. But O'Beary has got the pedigree for the longer distance as well, hasn't she?
Well, she has. If this was a track race, they'd be at the bell about now. It's 500 metres from those red signs in the background, and O'Beary has really used Muir as a pacemaker for the first 3/4 of a mile and then kicked off it. But that has dragged out the sting from the rest of the field, and the rest of them are floundering, frankly, behind O'Beary, Stuart. She's run really, really strongly here.
Yeah, she's leading. She's flat out, though, now. Muir in 2nd place. And really, Magdalene, that's the Irish young woman, in 3rd place. We haven't mentioned her before. World Youth silver medalist a few seasons ago. She's now 22 in 3rd place. And Muir's not done yet. O'Beary and Muir. Muir really attacking then as they come onto the 150-metre straightway. And teeth are gritted. And look at this. Laura Muir looks as though she's got the match of O'Beary. And McGeehan of Ireland in 3rd place, ahead of Waitman. And this is a good run by Laura Muir. It really is. McGeehan looking very, very strong as well. But Muir's going to win. McGeehan in 2nd place. Hannah England just comes through to 3rd place. That was a good finish by her, just ahead of O'Beary. But that's a good run by Laura Muir, the new Scottish record holder at 1,500 metres. And that, a good competitive race. That will please her. That will give her the confidence to go into the winter and develop even more.
Well, let's confirm all of that. Good win by Laura Muir of Great Britain. Sierra McGeehan of Ireland in 2nd place. Hannah England of Great Britain in 3rd.
I knew I was in great shape. I don't know how or what shape other people were, so I just thought, you know what, let's just go for it. And I knew when Helen passed me, you know, she'd be strong, but I knew how to sprint finish and stuck in there and didn't give up.
Well, there it is, the 4 athletes lined up and ready for this men's T44 100 metres. Hertog of the Netherlands, Peacock of Great Britain, the Paralympic champion, Richard Brown, the world record holder, and Felix Streng of Germany completes the lineup there in lane 4. So the T44 men's 100, Hertog of the Netherlands in 1, Peacock there to the right in black in 2, Brown in blue in 3, and Streng to the left. Way to go, great start from Johnny Peacock. He nabbed a few inches off Richard Brown there, but this is the battle royal. Look how far they're going clear. The American too strong at the moment. This is only a 100. The American's going to take it. Johnny Peacock fighting to the line there. 0 wind and 10.95 for Richard Brown. Well, considering he raced last night, and the athletes that came from Brussels had to get a flight at about 6:15 this morning, European time, he has travelled much, much better than many of the able-bodied athletes who we've seen racing today, who were also in Brussels last evening. I said he was a character. Look at that for a celebration. Peacock beaten by about a metre, but it was a great race until the American strength took him clear, Stuart, at about 75 metres.
Yeah, he's got good strength endurance. I mean, after that world record of 21.62 in Brussels over 200 metres, I mean, that's fantastic. And that will see him in good stead here. He's got a little bit more strength endurance and speed endurance than Johnny Peacock at the moment. And he certainly is the world #1, Richard Brown. He's been beating Johnny Peacock regularly since the Paralympic Games in 2012.
10.94, it's been rounded down a season's best for the American Brown. Johnny Peacock 11.09, just over a metre down. Streng and Hertog in 3rd and 4th. But Richard Brown Well, he will be pleased to have turned back the challenge of the Briton who is competing on home soil.
I jumped up to the 200 meters this year and really was focused on my 200. That's why the back part of my race has gotten so much better. And I'm doing it, just breaking records and breaking some more. So I hope to go home and take a long needed rest and get ready for next season.
Well, in the long jump, JJ Jegaday of Great Britain and Newman Essex Beagles Club, the UK champion this year, came in second place overall in this competition with his first round jump of 7 meters and 76 centimeters. An 8 meter jumper at his very best, and so was Chris Tomlinson. But Tomlinson, fourth round jump this, down the field at the moment, and that was 7.73, and that not quite good enough to overtake Jegaday, but that kept him in third place. Well, Greg Rutherford was already in the lead when it came to this fourth round. He already had a 7 meter and 86 centimeter jump. Olympic champion, Commonwealth champion, European champion. Once again, showed some great form in front of the home crowd. 7.92, good enough to win and confirm his win.
Well, there's the lineup for the women's 100 meter hurdles. Yasmin Stowers of the United States drawn in 1, Harper Nelson, United States, in 2, Tiff Porter of Great Britain in 3, and Brianna Rollins of the United States in lane 4. It's a lot of talent, and we've got the world number 1, Dawn Harper Nelson, in this one. Harper Nelson stumbled at the start. That can be very difficult, and I think it's going to be very difficult to catch Tiff Porter on this one. And Porter and Brianna Rollins going very strongly on here. Porter gets it, and she got it well in 12.8. And I have to say that Harper Nelson stumbled out of the blocks. It was almost a false start. She had no idea what was going on. Let's have another look at this. Look at this. Harper Nelson really struggled, Tim.
She did, yes. I don't know quite what happened there, but that she lost a meter and that was it. She was gone. And Tiffany Porter, well, she's running tremendously well this year, as you say, the European champion. Harper Nelson, of course, won the in the purple there, second to right. She does come through and maybe snatches second. Rollins hits that last barrier very hard. No, I think Harper Nelson's third. But when she won the Diamond League in Zurich last week, did Harper Nelson there to the right. And frankly, that is the gold medal for the Americans this year. They don't have a championship in seasons like this. It's a fallow year for them, when it's a very busy one for athletes like Porter.
Tiffany Porter, Brianna Rollins, Dawn Harper Nelson, Yasmin Stowers, 12.79 into a slight headwind. I wonder what Tiffany's got to say about that.
It's such a pleasure to be here. I love running on British soil. You guys are tremendous, and thank you so much for coming out and supporting us.
There is the lineup. Darren Robles in 1, Will Sharman in 2, Aries Merritt, the reigning world record holder, goes in 3, and then Andy Turner in lane 4. And as he said, what a special moment to start alongside the two fastest men in history, Robles and Merritt, in this final race of his career. It is a very fitting venue in which to sign off his career, Andy Turner. One of the great centres of track and field athletics, Skate said over the years, when you think about Brendan Foster's world record at the stadium just a mile or so away from this track. So, the men's 110 metre hurdles. Darren Robles of Cuba to the right of picture there in lane 1, the former world record holder, still only 27 years old, big man, 6'4", Will Sharman in lane 2, the Commonwealth and European silver medalist this year. Aries Merritt there, he was number 3 in his shorts, the world record holder for the USA, and Andy Turner nearest the camera. Away they go. Good start from Robles to right of picture. Sharman going well though now, but Robles running really strongly to the right there. This is surprising. Sharman's got a battle on his hands. Turner going well. Merritt in 4th place at the moment, but my word, Robles has taken that by some margin. 13.42. He's still good. I said he's only 27. He should have many more miles in the tank. And this man, who was born in Guantanamo, of all places, is looking very... Oh, my word. That is absolutely brilliant. The sun breaks out for the first time today properly as Andy Turner looks back on what has been an astonishing career. Here it is again. Robles, for Stewart, got a superb start, and they never were able to get back to him.
No, they weren't. I mean, I've been very impressed, certainly with Will Sharman this year too. and he manages to take second place. And really, Robles, though, has come back to some sort of form. He's got a best of 13.29 this season, but and wins it very well here. But he is a class act.
So the high hurdles won by the former world record holder Dayron Robles of Cuba, ahead of Will Sharman and Andy Turner in third place.
So another memorable day on the banks of the Tyne. The large crowd thrilled by some top-class performances, and a fitting end here to the career of Andy Turner of Great Britain, who made the men's hurdles his final race, fittingly in front of a home crowd. Well, next up for us is the Great Scottish Run at the start of October, but don't forget, keep up to date on our website, greatrun.org. But for now, from the northeast of England, goodbye.